everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I filmed and gave you guys any kind of content, but life can take strange turns sometimes. But either way, with my lack of sleep, I wanted to share with you something that I actually had started doing this past summer. Maybe it was this spring. Became interested in remote viewing. And I wanted to learn what the process was of that. So that's what I went about doing, learning how to do that. And those of you who don't know what remote viewing is, it was actually used by the military in the US. Project Stargate specifically was the US government program primarily run by the CIA and Defense Intelligence Agency that investigated remote viewing, which they claimed that it was the ability to psychically perceive information about distant or unseen targets. And it was launched in the 1970s during the Cold War. And the project arose from fears that the Soviet Union was investing heavily in psychic research, which prompted the US to explore whether paranormal abilities could have intelligence or military value. And over its roughly 2 decades of lifespan, Stargate, this project, produced various experiments and declassified reports, but ultimately an internal review, quote unquote, concluded, quote unquote, that the results were too inconsistent and unreliable for operational use, leading to the program's closure in the mid-1990s. And we already know how the U.S. military operates, or the U.S. government operates, claiming that something isn't working, and they stopped it, even though they continue to use it, but they just tell the public that it had no value. And therefore, no one needs to look over here any longer. And then they continue to do what they're doing. But that's where this whole remote viewing came from within the United States government. It was through this Project Stargate. And my first attempt at doing that, I actually hit the target with 100% accuracy. And because of that, I was like, oh, maybe that's just beginner's luck. Either way, that is what sent me onto the path of finding out what I could about that. I had come across an app that allows you to do remote viewing, and it'll give you a target image to try to remote view. And though I was accurate like 100% some of the times, other times I wasn't accurate. So it really goes back and forth. So I want to share that information with you so you can put all of that into how you view this information that I'm going to give you off of my most current remote viewing attempt. The reason why I stopped using that app was because this app, it gives you numbers to pick the target image, and you are to remote view this image based off of these numbers. Once you're done, writing up whatever it is that you remote viewed, it'll provide you 2 pictures, and you are to select which one you think your viewing most matches. And it'll give you the ability to choose, like, I'm really sure it's this, or I'm not too sure, but maybe. I stopped wanting to use that app because it became very anxiety inducing to see which pictures were going to be produced, because obviously you don't know how these pictures are going to look when they give them to you. You're only seeing images or hearing sounds or smelling things. It's just all your sense is what you're feeling when you're remote viewing something. So for these pictures, sometimes a particular thing would pop up in one of the pictures, and I have a phobia of that thing. And so when I would just get the random pictures, it was like a constant shock. And though I attempted to do other things within the app, like, okay, I'll just submit my drawing and let other people select what it is, I didn't like that option, because though I may see something like a shape I drew, and then if someone else decides they're going to judge it, which that's the way that works, they could say, no, that looks nothing like that shape. But you yourself as the viewer, you're like, that was the shape I was seeing. So I didn't like the dependence on others to review my work. So I didn't like that as another option for not viewing the picture yourself and being the judge of it. So with time, even though I tried covering the pictures and then like looking at them slowly to see like, okay, does it have something in it? Okay, good, it doesn't. Okay, let me see. It became too anxiety inducing. Even if I tried assigning an image in my mind to give myself the awareness, like, okay, am I seeing this, or am I just feeling anxiety because of this? Or now am I having anxiety because I'm worried that that's what this is and this picture might pop up? It became a whole thing. It affected my remote viewing abilities. And so after that, I decided, I would rather just go back to doing other types of remote viewing than practice within this app. And not to mention that the owner and operator of this app actually uses the results from the remote viewers who use the app to invest money into the stock market, and then says that they uses the money to make other changes or advancements on the app itself, as well as the top remote viewers can make a little bit of money, but of course, I'm sure it's not much in comparison to the thousands of dollars he's made off of the stock market based off of these remote viewers' results. I recently woke up around like 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been waking up like every day at 3 o'clock, and so I was running off of 3 hours of sleep for a good 2 weeks or so. But I was finally getting some sleep, and then I randomly got awakened at that time again. And this time, for some reason, I had the thought of you should remote view 3IAtlas. And I said, okay, whatever. Might as well. I'm laying here, can't fall back to sleep. Might as well. So that's what I decided to do. I took out my notepad, which I often use, and I began to sketch what I saw. So let's take a look at that. So I'm just gonna go through my drawing here and explain what I saw. I have not gone through this since the evening after I had remote viewed this, so that was like a week ago. So here we go. I was seeing this type of shape. I wrote, looked out, like popped. Okay, so this little thing here, it looked like this was something, like something alive, and it was as silly as this sounds, this is what it looked like. If you picture the typical Halloween ghost, like that shape of the, it's just like whatever the shape is. That is the shape of what I saw. So there was this, whatever this was, because I can't remember now because it's already been a while. There was this shape, and this thing, I'm just gonna say entity because I don't know, this being like popped out, and was watching me, and when it noticed I saw it, it hid behind this shape, which was like an entity in itself, I think, if I can remember that. I might not be remembering that too clearly, but I do remember this little thing like hiding once it saw that I had spotted it. During the view itself, I started smelling it was like a sweet smell of bread being toasted. And exactly like that. It wasn't like when it was getting burnt or anything like that. It was just the smell of toast. So I had got that smell, and it didn't come to me right away. In the process of remote viewing, I had asked, like, do I smell anything? Am I seeing anything? Blah, blah, blah. So I ask all these questions to myself so that way I can see whatever images it is I'm seeing or feeling it, whatever it is, smelling it. And though I asked for a smell, I didn't smell it right away, but the smell did come to me, and it came to me several times throughout during the time of this remote view. It wasn't a smell of like, this is an awful smell. It was just purely, it was a very sweet smell, and it was comforting and calming, the smell. I don't associate it just like in my waking life or non-remote viewing life, the smell of toast as being comforting or anything like that, or sweet. And like that's what I felt from that smell at the time of this remote view. Okay, so I kept seeing this image, this like triangle type of image throughout the remote view, and it is reflected throughout my drawing. But I also saw this like light, and it was a a light shaped like this, which is very similar to this shape, of course, in my opinion. And it was a light that was just like strobing or moving or like changing like light colors. And then I saw red and green. And the reason why I put red, green here is because I had saw, if you guys are familiar with the popsicles, they're called Otter Pops. They are sold here in America. For some reason, I saw Otter Pops, and it was like 2 red and then 3 green. When I see an image like that, I think, okay, so I'm seeing, for some reason, because there's all different colors of Otter Pops, but I was only seeing these specific. And so why was it specifically 2 reds and 3 greens? I would imagine there's probably some significance within the number itself. 2 and 3, or 3, 4, 5. There's some kind of connection here. And so then when I see this, I see, okay, the colors, I see the shapes, and I see the number amount. I also associate the cold with it. So you could look like red, green, red. Those are colors that are associated with Christmas here in America. And here you have cold. So usually it's pretty cold around Christmas time here. Once in a blue moon we'll have snow for Christmas, but not always. When I was asking like where it was going, what was it doing, I got the feeling or message that says on the way home. I also got these like up down feelings, and I say that again because it's very referencing back to this, like this up down feeling, whatever that was. I also got light beams, so maybe it is these were the entities, these were the beings, and they're light, they're made of light, so they're not going to be like flesh like humans or animals on the planet. I was seeing this image here, which is like a water flow is the best way to describe it. It was like this flowing motion like this. It was also similar in the color of the way it flowed, like a bluish or whitish color of light. So I wrote words like swishing or flowing. I wrote come back for whatever that meant. I don't know. And I also got return. So I must have saw some connection here that I don't know now, but I saw some connection here of return and a connection. So it's coming back. It was going, I don't know, but I got intelligence from it. Again, this cold frost. I got 2, 2, 3, 3. Another 2. I do remember asking, will everybody be able to see them? And I got the impression that those who will see it, and those who won't. Whatever that means. I mean, it could be at its basis. Those who see it will see it. Those who won't. When I got that message, I was a little sad because, you know, I would want everybody to be able to see it, but it is what it is. For some reason, this Andromeda galaxy, I don't even think I'm saying that correctly. I don't know really anything about that. And again, that's why I'm saying I don't think I'm even saying that galaxy name correctly. But it was I'm saying galaxy, constellation. I don't even know that constellation or galaxy, whatever it is. I don't know anything about it, but that's the name that kept coming to me. So Andromeda, I don't know. And then I got 90 million miles, 90 million light year miles, whatever that is. Again, I got the shapes again of this triangle and this. But this, at one point I saw this shape as like, it looked like, if you look at the pictures of a bathroom that show a female bathroom, male bathroom, the girl's bathroom is always like this little stick figure person with a dress. And that's the way that looked to me. Go to the back, and I heard the word consciousness. Some family and friends will see it. Again, I saw that shape again. This, and strangely that at this point, it was like 2 bodies that were connected. So one half was that, again, the picture or the image of the person, the female bathroom figure. It was like half of it was that, and then half of it was like more alive looking versus a drawing or character type of looking. So it was these two bodies that were connected at this point. Again, it's seeing this shape. I don't know. It was that, I mean, that looks a lot like that, just flipped. You've got the same type of shape as this. Again, here we got some more of this like flowing type of motion. Similar to this, or similar to this like water flowing motion. Again, for some reason it's this triangle and these shapes. I don't know what those are, but that is what I kept getting. Again, I got the smell of the bread toasting several times during this remote view. I don't know what this is, again, because I did this like over a week ago, but I have written, look for us, you will see small connection, happy, smell, good. I'm not sure what that is. There was this thing that I saw too, again with that flowing type of motion, and it looked a lot like a spider, but more of like tarantula type of looking spider, so not like a skinny little spider. It was like something more with more body to it, I guess you could say. But it was these shapes. I got light bean, again, light, and then seeing this again, and apparently orange. I must have saw orange at some point with that. Think of us with the toast smell. So like, I would imagine that since I wrote that, that must be something like comforting, sweet, good. I would relate that image to something that is good, that is welcoming, that it's enjoyable. It wasn't anything like putrid or awful smelling. It was something that was very relaxing and calming. Again, some more of this type of shape, the triangle type, I don't know. Some more of the shapes I was seeing. Again, more of this stuff. It's like wispy, like triangle shape type of thing. I don't know what that is. And again with this, the square with this wispiness coming out of it. And then come in peace, adamant. That's what I was trying to write. And then I saw this type of shape, which was like what I had wrote, like a snail. Is the best way to describe what it was. It was, so it's like this happy bean, and it had this, I wrote dress for whatever reason, I don't know, but it has this same square or rectangle shape as what I see here in this. I wrote snail, so it must have looked something like a snail, but it was a bean with something. So the way this could be interpreted too is it is an entity inside of something. So there's something covering it, maybe. It could be A3IAtlas itself, the ship that it's in. It's saying that this entity is inside of it. It's protection shell, it's protection, it's ship. I don't know, whatever it is, but that is what it was. So I saw all of that, and I wanted to share that with you guys. It very well could end up being told to us that it's just a comet or meteor, and that's all it is. But despite what it actually is, this is what I felt. And maybe it wasn't that I was remote viewing A3IAtlas. Maybe I was remote viewing something else, but this is what I saw. And this is what came to me. These are the numbers, these are the shapes, these are the pictures that came to me. And also, you can see these type of light beams already in the sky. They are out there sometimes at night. If you ask ahead of time, they will sometimes appear to you if they can. Also, sometimes if you don't, sometimes you can catch them and they are out there and they will communicate with you. So it could be me remote viewing these light beings, which could be angels, but they are something of a higher ascension, higher as in good, ascending higher in frequency, higher in enlightenment than us humans. So it could very well be angels, but either way, these are the shapes and pictures and feelings I got from this entire remote view. Here at the ending, I just wanted to put in some footage of, or some pictures of maybe some of the things that look kind of like the drawing. Of course, that could just be matching things where there is no match, but I just thought I'd show that to you because I thought it was quite interesting. And with that, you be the judge. Tell me what you guys think. Have you ever tried remote viewing? Tell me what you think about 3IAtlas, despite NASA now coming out with it took them 6 weeks to come up with this lame picture or this lame lie of what they think 3IAtlas is. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Bye.